Hello there, beautiful Aries. Welcome to my Tarot Nook. I hope everything is going well and good for you. This will be a love reading, okay? So just make sure you check the timestamps. You're going to find that in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments. All right. And you'll also be able to find additional channel information in the description box. All right. So I'll start with a message for you from your guides here, Aries. All right. A message for Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. All right, what needs knowing at this time for Aries? All right, it's here for you. Well, I guess I feel like this one wanted to pop out, so let's go ahead and go with this one. And your current angel message for you from your angels and guides, I should say, is to just ask. All right. And the focus here is, it says there are many here in spirit world that can assist you at this time. We are made up of divine source, your loved ones, friends, guides, angels, and spirit helpers who are waiting to assist you. We are your spiritual team, and all you have to do is ask for our help and guidance. And so this is a nudge for you directly from your spirit guides for whatever situation you're dealing with, or anything that you might be experiencing that's causing you a little worry, concern, distress. All right, so just ask for answers, ask for healing, ask for support in any way that you need it. And just make sure you kind of keep that in mind, all right? So let's go ahead here and check in with some untold messages, untold truths. Okay, so if you're new here, by the way, welcome to my Tarot Nook. I do variety style readings, and I upload weekly. So if you enjoy tarot, consider subscribing. All right, if you have any questions for me or about my channel that's not in the description box, feel free to ask in the comments. And let us know how things are going for you, or whatever it is that you'd like to talk about, feel free to do so. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this reading further for you right now. What else is here for Aries and what's going on with Aries? Let's see. These things, they sometimes want to show and sometimes they don't want to show. They want to show and they don't want to show. It's like whenever I move the table, something happens. See what I'm saying? Every time I like lean on the table, or my like material that I'm wearing, the clothes, they pull on the. Okay, wow, confessions is here. This actually showed up already for Pisces. And I feel like for a lot of you, some of you, it's you need some sort of confession in the form of like honesty, or like to make things right, to make things fair, to make things balanced. It's going to be super important that you receive some sort of validation, or not really validation, but more like it says justification, but I feel like maybe confirmations for some things, okay? Others of you, there might be an energy around you that's really wanting to confess something. So let's go ahead and continue on. And yes, I do have my phone next to me with notifications on because I am expecting 3 different deliveries today. Guys, I'm always getting deliveries. All right, so we have resentment is here. We also have solitary. Yeah, I feel like somebody here is not happy being alone. Maybe they're kind of going through some sort of pain, struggle, or heartache. They're a little withdrawn right now, feeling it, being alone. There could be kind of just a single situation, like both of you are single right now, not necessarily engaging with other people, but there's some sort of bitterness here. Okay, so why is all this here? It feels like things feel like they're on repeat with this situation. Could be like multiple times, just the patterns repeat themselves, so things are trying to kind of get more on the bitter side. Okay, more like self-critical, or just kind of being like, just kind of, I guess the word resentful really is one that encapsulates this, but there's a karmic lesson here taking place. Okay, so I feel like there's an open heart here. There's a desire to fix something. There's a soft spot for one another that's showing up. But I also feel like some of you are feeling like a little vulnerable right now. Okay, so you could be feeling a little upset, a little bitter, a little angry, uncertain about how things are. Why do these things keep happening? Why is this happening? So something like that is also coming through. Okay, and we have mirror here. So I feel like you both have some sort of shared feelings towards one another, and I feel like you both kind of put each other through happiness and pain cycles. So it's just like it's like a cycle, right? Or like a wheel, I guess. or the hamster wheel, so to speak. And it just feels like sometimes things feel like they're on a loop, but there's karmic lessons. And guess what happens when we don't learn our lessons? We keep doing the same thing over and over, and we keep hurting over. And then one day we're like, what? Why did I think about this or think of this? But it's the journey, right? So it's whatever it is. It's where it's at right now. Wow, this also showed up for Pisces. I think it was in this position. Oh my goodness, that's wild. We're dealing with a lot of inconsistencies, and that's been the pattern. That's been the upsetting point. It's just that somebody has not been consistent. There's no follow through. They're not honoring the relationship or the promises that are being made, or taking like proactive measures to heal something, address something. Okay, so some of you here, it's just that there's a lot of options, but it doesn't have to be other people. It could, but the options here require like exercising like decision and discipline, like making decisions. Okay, so it feels like there's receptiveness to work something out, but somebody could be also in a resentful state. Okay, so that could be due to their like day-to-day life or upbringings or anything of that sort of nature that's causing problems for them. All right, so it could be harboring issues here, past trauma that they're kind of trying to deal with, and they could be kind of in a very resentful place. Okay, so they're also discovering their own self here, I guess, in this journey. All right, let's see what tarot has for you in this regard. Let's see what's here for you, Aries. What else is here for Aries? Okay, so let me cut these cards. I am using a different kind of cat deck. I don't know if you came over last week or for the previous reading. It was a different deck in January, and this one is also a different deck, obviously, but it's a different cat one. So not just different, but a different cat. I have so many cat decks. All right, it's here for you. So Hermit's here. This is a Virgo energy. We have the Chariot. This is Cancer. We already are starting up with 2 major arcanas here. Okay, so we also have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a Virgo energy. We have the 7 of Pentacles. All right, 7 of Pentacles here is Taurus. What's up, buddy? We also have, wow, all these Pentacles. We have the 4 of Pentacles here, Capricorn. Yeah, it is Capricorn. All right, so wow, we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse. All right, 7 of Swords is Aquarius. And we have the 2 of Cups, which is Cancer, which also showed up for Pisces. And you're the second reading. Oh, wow. Hamster wheel, Wheel of Fortune. Wow. I was literally thinking about that when I was talking. Wow. All right, so we got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Let's go ahead and explore these cards a little further for you, okay? Now, this connection, I feel like resentment makes sense a little bit. It feels like it's in some sort of a negative cycle. Overall, it does come across as something is just stagnating right now. Okay. Something here is not moving forward. Somebody, could be kind of dealing with what unwelcome changes, or there could be mistakes. And that are constantly being made, that are not being addressed for healing purposes. Okay, so I feel like if this is a relationship that's not progressing, or if this is a past relationship in general, it feels like there's lingering, like unresolved issues, like lingering issues here that need to still be looked at or discussed, because resentment is coming through quite strongly for that in that sense. Okay, so others of you, if you're just having like a relationship, you're in the middle of a crossroad right now, conflicted. Okay, we have decisions and inconsistencies are showing up. So it might be, dealing with like a repeated pattern. Okay, and it's just not taking a good turn. Okay, it just kind of keeps taking one bad turn after another. It does feel like somebody, it's like the relationship is caught in like some sort of a loop. Okay, so there's obviously frustrations here between you and this person, or for the relationship in general, there's frustrations. And I feel like there's just either a desire to change or to have some sort of closure. All right. This card, I feel like, is calling for some sort of reflection, okay, on the cycles that you need to work on and the cycles that you need to also break away from, so that you can like have a more fulfilling love experience or experiences in relationships. Otherwise, you're going to keep finding yourself stuck, okay? And if otherwise, you just have to like let go, okay? So if things don't change, or if the dynamics and things don't change, or if things keep repeating themselves, if it's tough to like move on from that stuff, we need to figure out a way to heal, or actually coexist or cope with this pattern that we keep finding ourselves in. All right. The Hermit, like I mentioned earlier, this is a Virgo energy. In terms of like what's going on in general, I do feel like there's a lot of introspection, withdrawal taking place. It does feel like somebody is deep into like kind of contemplation, solitary, and Hermit. I mean, you all already saw that comment. Okay, so there's a strong space for solitude here coming in. I do feel like, somebody's trying to understand whatever it is that they want, or perhaps their feelings, or where things are for them in the relationship in general. Maybe they don't want to discuss how they really feel or what it is that they want or don't want. It's just that there's a lot of introspection taking place. So this is somebody that could just have emotional wounds from like past relationships, or they could have been in a period where they're just reevaluating what like love and relationship means to them, because of past experiences. Okay, so I do feel like this is an energy here. There's a desire for personal like enlightenment or pathway being shown, or just kind of seeing the light to things. There's a desire for that, especially when it comes to love, just having an understanding of like where they are, where they stand, or what they really kind of want out of love in general. But it's more about reconciling with the self here. Okay, so this introspection is really important, because it also takes into consideration what this person may want with their partner in general. All right, there's a strong fear of isolation. So this is somebody that may not be able to deal a lot with being alone, but they do take a lot of time alone to think about things. But when it comes to relationship needs or emotional needs or needs of passion and desires, they literally don't like to be alone in that sense. So it just kind of gives like a lot of thought to what they want, but then I feel like they go right back to how things are, and that's why the cycle is not breaking. Okay, so there's that to think about. And it could be just an energy right now. Like for some of you, there could be worries that whatever distance, okay, going on between you and them, this could also be something that you're worrying about. But whenever there's like timeout or introspection phases or anything like that, there's a in the back of everybody's mind, there's like a little subtle worry that, that love or that passion or that relationship experience that's being had, like one of you might like feel less about the other person over time. So there's like that worry, like they still, like it feels like you both want to be in each other's flames or be each other's flames, but whenever you're together, there's always destructive energies that throw things off. Okay, it does feel like for a lot of you, excuse me, the Hermit also can apply to you. Take some time to yourself for like self-care and healing. Healing, like I said earlier, healing the things that you need to kind of focus on to evolve, like, kind of like not repeating patterns, or just kind of stopping yourself when you're catching yourself in a pattern. And it doesn't mean that it's your action, it's the experience that you're in. So to stop some loops, you have to kind of really, break the habits of things. So that's really, really where it's at. The Chariot is here, reversed Cancer energy, like I mentioned. I do feel like there's a struggle here with direction or taking control in the relationship, and we have decisions here also kind of playing a role. It does feel like there could be some kind of conflicts, or even perhaps delays. Something's just not moving forward. It's not advancing. It's not moving at a certain pace that perhaps it used to be in the past. And it could also reflect a little bit of internal struggles. Okay, so where like your goals or your person's goals and desires clash with the relationship needs. So what you both may want from each other or the relationship kind of doesn't match what you like the other person. So I don't know if it's like a compatibility problem per se, but it just feels like the goals and the ambitions of the relationship clash. Like how you see the direction of the relationship goes, how they do, it clashes. It just feels like somebody's not wanting to give up control. Okay, so there could be like signs again of like arguing, stagnation, stalemate here with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so it just feels like the relationship at this time could be kind of growing through a lack. So like a stalemate, but it's also like lacking fulfillment, like the potential it can have to be fulfilling. It's not active like that. It just feels like there isn't really a whole lot of direction, but we're still together, but we don't know if we're together really. And are we really together? Because we like to be alone, but we don't mind being something like that. It's just like somebody is just, whoever is the dominant energy in this connection, and it could be either or, but at this time, it's just that somebody just wants things to be how they want it to be. Okay. It's just very visible here. And it's just kind of like there's a lot of kind of timeouts for those reasons. Okay. Yeah, a lot of out of control feelings. And just like, again, the goals are not aligning. Okay. So how you see things and how it's just not there. I feel like the challenge here is to kind of regain balance. So it's really tough to kind of get back on track for a lot of you. But it might be important to address these things head on. So that could be why the confession next to resentment and solitary showed up. Because earlier I was like, well, confessions, sure, it talks about feelings, right? But maybe the confessions need to be talked about, like the direction, what's fulfilling and what's not, what's aligning and what's not. And that's for a lot of you that are currently in like a hanging relationship style. Like, hey, you okay, baby? Staring at me? You giving me good luck? You giving me good luck wishes and kisses? Oh my gosh, my God. I wish I could take a picture and show you. So the 10 of, and by the way, we have what? 1, 2, 3 pentacles. Which I think is a lot. Kind of think about it, because stability and discipline plays a role. Alright. Feels like we're not fully enmeshed in being passionate. It's like not a whole lot of action is being taken at this time. It just feels like who's gonna bust out the next move, who's gonna reach out first, something like that. All right. So yeah, so the 10 of Pentacles here, this is a Virgo energy. It feels like there's like outside influences or challenges. Okay, it could be like friends, family, or just society, like social pressures here that are playing a role in this relationship or in this situation. Also, and or we could have like also financial problems. Okay, so financial issues taking place. There could be some hidden motives here, or commitments that are not being fully disclosed. So somebody's playing things close to the chest when it comes to sustainable, long term, not just commitments, but like investments. Okay, so it does feel like, you know, there's a lot of obligations here that are playing, like something here is holding this person back, or even you. There could be just an energy here that's kind of also requiring your time, focus, attention, or desires. Like maybe somebody else is in the picture as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's cheating. It just means right now that in terms of external factors, we do have some sort of additional distractions taking a front row seat, I guess, or trying to make their way in. Okay, so we are working on desires here as well. So I feel like from looking at things from the outside, I feel like maybe somebody is feeling like stuck, and they want things to kind of change, but they don't have a lot of influence on what's going on. So there's like a little bit of a struggle here. And it feels like somebody's feeling trapped for those reasons, or perhaps not fully free emotionally to express themselves, okay, or what they really want in the relationship, which is why I feel like conflicted is here. But it does feel like there's an open heart and receptiveness. It's just there's a lot of resistance to fully giving in to something. Like somebody just doesn't want to be fully enmeshed in something. Okay, some of the challenges here, we have the 7 of Pentacles coming through. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a Taurus energy. Okay, so I don't know, it does feel like there could be issues here, like in terms of delays. All right, so maybe, you know, the challenge here is just not looking at things with perspective. Okay, so rather than looking at things from like a rational perspective, it comes across as though somebody's trying to always measure something against something. So like, what am I putting in? What am I getting out? What is being done and what is not being done? And I feel like if this relationship is worth time and effort, there's going to need to be change to like how the investment in love is being, done, like how we're investing in love and how we're investing. Otherwise, the challenge is we're not investing in the right place for the right reasons. All right. So if we constantly fill somebody's emotional bucket or a relationship needs or whatever you want to call it, for example, by always going out and eating and doing all this, but then we come home and, for example, we don't do this or do that, or I don't know, something, but you overfulfill something, or they do, and then everything else is lacking. Well, that's not going to bring around the right balance. Okay, so it's like you're investing, and it does feel like right now the investment in time or money or attention or something is going without like a return on investment, so it doesn't pay out. It's not paying out. Okay, so I do feel like there's a hope for like a fruitful relationship, but there's a fear here that one person is really putting more than the other person, or more than they're getting back. And if you're not going to collect dividends or some type of interest or something like that, you're really there serving somebody else and not really in a relationship with them. Okay, so I feel like it's time, to take a step back and assess things. Okay, and then just give the relationship time to grow. Or this hermit that's playing a role here, allow the introspection phase to play out, okay, to see where things go. But it does feel like with the Four of Pentacles, okay, there is a lot of holding back. So we got the Hermit, and then we also have there's a lot of withholding of things or holding back, right? Capricorn energy. It does feel like, it's time for people to do what they need to do to address the things that need addressing, really, like kind of like the investments and just like putting in and not getting much back. But it does feel like there's unspoken feelings as well of like possessiveness and insecurities. And it does feel like it should be used as a way to protect the other person from being hurt, because it becomes mentally or psychological, like emotional kind of mind games, and then it becomes like a sense of manipulation and a cycle that doesn't end, which throws things back to this Wheel of Fortune, which of course is not something that you totally want right now. Okay, the Seven of Swords in reverse, we have an Aquarius energy. Aquarius, I feel like Aquarius is meant to be like a card of healing, but the Seven of Swords reversed is just talking about it's time to shift things towards honesty, whether it's about what's going on, whether there's third parties, whether there's past deceptions or misunderstandings. It's time to take action that lead to clarifications, because maybe through some sort of confession, there could be a confession coming in. Okay, or even just addressing this heat, like having that conversation, that difficult conversation that needs to happen, could allow things to have like more open, like it could show the intentions in a very open-hearted way, like being receptive. There is an opportunity for that, because the Seven of Swords usually brings betrayals and just aspects of like secrets and lies and stuff like that. But in the reverse, it talks about rethinking the approach of how to kind of get things moving forward, because we do have somebody here that likes to escape, or is an escape artist, escapationist. I was trying to say escapationist. Well, it's just absolutely not a word, but they like to escape. And so that's kind of like why we have a negative cycle again, because they kick right back into that hermit mode and then they lock up, okay, and things again don't get discussed, and it's a never-ending cycle, y'all. So rethink the approach here is super important. I feel like there's a desire here to just kind of have some sort of understanding or relief come through, kind of like an emotional rebalancing of things. Maybe start fresh, maybe have like a foundation that's based on truth, or just kind of again have that honest conversation that's needed, just to kind of see where things are. Because if things are not said in truth and they're said in with lies and deceptiveness, then there's really, again, you're not like, you're investing your time and money into something that's like endlessly not gonna change, okay, because they can get away with it. That's that's what it is. It's time to take responsibility, okay, for each of you needs to take responsibility for your part. Also to address any kind of issues or misunderstandings, if there are any, or misconceptions, or just flat out be honest about the lies, to achieve some sort of forward healing here, okay, especially if this connection is still stuck in some cycle and it's no time for it yet to leave. All right, or end, I guess I should say. The Two of Cups, okay, so this is a Cancer energy. I feel like despite the challenges, there's potential here for a connection, especially if we have like mutual understanding established, because it does feel like there's a lot of shared values, okay? There's like a connection here has gone through multiple like cycles of partnerships. So there's a fluid exchange here of emotional expressions, okay? So that's happened, and I feel like it's just about the coming together right now, okay, for two souls that are meant to be together or want to be together, right? There's hope here, so for things to kind of improve, but you know, through conversation, it'll help make sure that you're both being seen and valued and connected. Otherwise, again, we're going to knock right back to this Wheel of Fortune, okay? Ultimately, I feel like it's super important to communicate openly and be willing to meet each other halfway, compromise. So if the compromise is not here, that could be problematic. All right. And it's about like building or rebuilding on a foundation that's based on like respect, and love, because if love is there, it doesn't have to be that you're in love and you have to live together, but out of actual respect and love, people can honor the code, okay? So it's just about honoring the code. It's a matter of honoring the code, honestly, because once that's established, you could be light years apart, but there's a code, and but it just feels like that even itself could feel like it's putting a chokehold on somebody, and the commitment for them becomes too much. I feel like this card opens an invitation to heal the past, okay, through like just growth and understanding, and to kind of focus on the things that has unified you two together, okay, because this is a compatible connection, all right, but it's going through a rough patch right now. The attraction is there, okay, the desire to have a connection thriving is there, but it's definitely kind of in a little bit of a bump, all right, it's a little bump on the road right now. Okay, so now that I've done this reading, you can stop here if you want, and I'll say thank you so much for hanging out and spending some of your time with me. However, I am doing something totally different. Okay, so I'm going to pull an oracle message for you. It's a conscious spirit card. And once I pull the card, rather than give you my thinking about it, I'm going to actually read the book's description for it. I want the information just to resonate for you the way you're meant to hear it, not the way I want you to hear it, but the way it's by design. Just something different in you, like I said. But if you're going to stop right here, I do want to say thank you so much for spending your time with me. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Let me know what's going on with you in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed the reading. And let me go ahead now and move forward. And that's why there's timestamps. But let's go ahead and move forward here with this card and check in with your conscious spirit message for you. All right, what is here for Aries to focus on moving forward? What else is here for Aries, please? Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a card. All right, so, oh, pretty colors. Wow, we have the third eye chakra, the number 24. It says, I see the wisdom of my higher self and apply the wisdom in my life. All right, so let's pull number 24 really quickly for you. All right. This is rare. Wow, interesting. So the third eye chakra is linked to light, intuition, and self-reflection. Its name is Ajna and means to know or perceive. The color associated with it is indigo, and it is suited above and between the eyebrows, situated. This card is a reminder to you that we all have the ability to awaken intuitive and psychic powers within us. Guidance from higher realms often comes to you as a gut feeling. Learn ways of developing this intuition. By learning to tune in to your intuition, you will be guided to make the best choices in your life. If something does not feel right, it probably isn't. Keep a diary and your intuitive feelings and experiences as well as your dreams, and you will discover that the more open you are, the more accurate these feelings will become. Trusting your intuition will also help release you of fear and instill more confidence within you. Remember to honor and encourage this ability in others so they too can become masters of their own lives. All right, well, beautiful Aries, sincerely love you all so much. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.